To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Recorded here alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. High tide. It's crushing out there. It's a beautiful walk down here too. It's amazing. It's about eight relaxing minutes to the ocean. 5 if you're really like, oh, I'm gonna power walk it like most of the boomers down here. About 9.5 if you're on your cell phone, on speakerphone, dragging your fucking dogs. But yeah, anyways, so recorded here alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast inside the Spare Parts Studio. A little more organized in here. I'm trying to work out little things here and there. Anyways, where the fuck was I? Sorry, I'm a little off to this morning. You know, went to the gym, did legs, if you want to call it that. I'm wearing this sport jacket, got these nice pants on, nice polo, nice and some chewed up fucking flip-flops. Thanks, Chase, appreciate it. He's still chilling in the seat next to me. You can't see him. He's just out of focus. I want to do a little house cleaning first before I get on with the main subject matter of this week's, I don't know, half hour, 45-minute episode. Honestly, when I put creamer in my coffee, I think I'm about ready to pass out. So normally now before a podcast, I definitely take a nap. I definitely just kind of sit back. I take a 4-brain focus, tropical punch, eternal energy, and then I kind of nod off for a little bit, and I get my notes back. I'm doing much better with the notes now. Much better with the notes, bullet points. It really helps me smooth things out for each week's episode. Still working on the blog. I think I might need just one more subject matter to kind of close up shop on the next blog. And then I can go ahead and I can take cover pictures and get that posted. As far as house cleaning, update on Chase. He was going to go in for surgery or procedure, for that matter, to remove the little bulge that is, I don't call it a mass. A mass is like tumor or polyp, but ultimately it's just a bump on the side of his fucking head. It's mainly bacteria. No, it's not mainly bacteria. It is bacteria. There's no cancer in it or anything like that. But he was going in. They were going to cut him. He was on... they gave him gabapentin and Remedil. Gabapentin, obviously, a pain reliever. Then, of course, Remedil, which is the one that really knocks you the fuck out. But he was given, like, a lot of them. And he was all tipsy-turvy that Monday night into that Tuesday morning. But he's on the drugs, his back legs, he's all fucking flopping all over the place. And then I get him into the car, I take him there. They all love him, of course. They love him because I carry him in. We sit down. The nurse, the doctor, they all come talk to they rub the thing for the 1,000th time. It's like, oh, it's a bump. Yeah, no fucking shit. And but it was small at the time. It gets a little smaller, it gets a little bigger depending upon the day. But ultimately, they did another culture on him. He was so drugged up, I carried him to the back of the building. They let me actually take him out back to where, most of the sausage is made. That would technically literally be true if you were in certain parts of China. And they was so chilled out that they did run radiology scans on his actual head. The lab results will probably come in later this week, but it's like, they found no foreign bodies to the best of their knowledge. They decided, essentially, she's like, if it's my dog, I wouldn't do surgery. I'm like, oh, great. So I just spent $150 on gabapentin, Remedil, and more bullshit medication that basically I can go sell on the street for fucking $20 a pop, and you're telling me we're not doing surgery. Because it's not worth it, ultimately. It's obviously some type of bump with a lot of bacteria in it that's eventually going to work its way out because it hasn't taken the time to resolve itself. Even though he's gone on, this has been going on since July. I mean, I told her everything, but essentially she's like, if it was my dog, I wouldn't do it. I'm like, all right, I guess we're not fucking doing it. The doctor's that not. Now, I'm not shitting on the vet. I'm not at all. Okay? When it comes to doctors, like doctors that work on people, all right, we got some fucking questions. I got a bone to pick. I got some issues here. When it comes to vets, when it comes to good ones, like the emergency doctors that I went to, his new primary care physician, who she's fantastic, and then the place I went to in Maine, you know, I got my beef with Maine, but as far as their vets go, we're cool. But it's just like, and now we're here. I'm ready to have him cut. No surgery, nothing. Like we're not doing it. We'll see if there's a foreign body in there, yeah, we're going in. If there's a piece of metal in there, we're going in. Nothing. Zero. No surgery. I was out of there by 10:30. He's all full of drugs, which it's adorable, let me tell you. There's nothing like a dog on fucking anti-anxiety medication. They're, well, let's just say moldable. You know, you can literally put them in your pocket. But he was definitely loopy, liked to sleep a lot, but he was out of it within 24 hours. Did well. He did very well. But ultimately he decided, no, we're not doing it. So he's on standby $1,400 later that they're probably not going to go through with it. Probably not going to happen. So he's fine. They said, honestly, there's no pain. He's doing great, blah, 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 and it hasn't gone anywhere. And it's due to its location where obviously it's probably lodged, or it's in somewhere where the nerves to his mouth and stuff like that are. It's like, it's more risk to cut him. Honestly, if it's not causing any problems, I'm like, but yeah, visually I see it. Visually I know it's there. Visually it swells up. It goes back down. It's like, all right, what are we doing here? Are we just going to let this thing sit there? So I'm like, all right. But I understand it. I'm going to take their advice, and we're going to see where this thing goes over the course of the next 6 months. But yeah, that's where we are. Can you even hear the music going on in the background here? I mean, I can hear it. If you guys can't, all right, don't worry about it. Let me just check the screen here. Let me click on that. Okay. All right, whatever. I just have I have a little piano music going. This helps my head concentrate and stay in the moment a little bit. I was listening to some synthwave earlier. It wasn't doing it for me. Wasn't doing it. So I decided, you know what, we're just going to kind of move that aside. Go back to the chill piano music and we're good. Oh, he's getting up. Good boy. Go ahead, buddy. Go chill. So yeah, there is that. There is that. What was else did I have for house cleaning? Oh, that was it. Before I got to it, I was listening to a piece of music. Mick Gordon, he's a music producer. He's done like soundtracks and things like that. He did the Doom 2016 soundtrack, Doom Eternal soundtrack. He just came out with a new song called Absolutum or whatever. It's from this new video game called The Under King, and I've been listening to it. And Jesus Christ, it is just so. I mean, the string he's hitting is like a piece of rope. It's just It's like, I mean, you should see the thickness of the string on the guitar. It looks like a battle rope from the gym, and he's just hit. It's wild. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. So main point of topic tonight is I've shit on this state time and time again, and I'm definitely shitting on it again. I just have to, because it's right here in my frontal lobe. Scientists, whatever you want to call this thing. It is. State of Massachusetts is right here on my head. Went down there for a show. You know, don't get me wrong though. Of course, their theaters are gorgeous. Their venues are amazing. And they have like 6,000 of them, okay? From really nice clubs to amazing theaters. They really do. But the state is terrible. All right. Energy prices. Out of control. Like, energy prices in that state are wild. All right, I could probably look them up. Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to energy prices, you can shit on Massachusetts all day long, which you rightfully so. But Maine's not far off, because Maine has literally a chokehold on it because they have like one power company. But ultimately, Maine's energy prices, their gas prices, their taxes. And then, of course, if you're going anywhere of any value, you got to pay for parking. You've got fucking tolls up the wazoo. Everywhere you're going. Flashing lights. It's terrible. So if you're going to go to Massachusetts, and when I say Massachusetts, I'm talking about at least there's only one place worth going. Well, for now, okay, it's got a shit mayor, is obviously Boston. Like, if you've ever traveled the seacoast of Massachusetts, Rockport is very nice. Rockport's very nice. But you can't go to Gloucester. There's nowhere to park. Winthrop was a decent place. Not really now. Revere just lost a beach. So Lynn, they not lost a beach, excuse me. They lost a bridge. Just all of a sudden, oh, it's no surprise. Oh, the bridge is no good. It's got cracks in it. I mean, God, every time that you try, you get across the, like, welcome to Massachusetts. You're immediately met by, like, there shouldn't be a speed bump, a 75 mile an hour speed bump as soon as you cross. Welcome to Massachusetts, and we're airborne. And there goes my suspension. And now I have a flat tire. It's like you start in New Hampshire, you're doing about 75, you hit the border of Mass, and the next thing you know, you're airborne and you land in Rhode Island. That's how shitty I remember the roads going. It's awful. It's like you hit the border and there's a cavern. There's a cavernous abyss and you're in hell. It's like, where did that crack come from? Are you going to do anything about it? Probably not. Now, the worst traffic, without a doubt, the worst traffic I have ever, and I've been alive for a couple decades, you know? I've been around, son. I've owned a few cars. Bye, handsome. I love you. This is the worst traffic I've ever experienced in this town. I expected there to be some Friday night, slowdowns, because you're going straight, and then you've got all these people that, oh, I want to join the party too, traveling from Peabody. And then, so those people are getting on to this, road. They all smash into you. And obviously, I don't blame them. Nobody's polite about it. They're not going to let you get in. You're just going to stick your fucking nose in and hope that this person actually has a driver's license that's not suspended, so they know the rules of the road. So obviously you're not asking to be let in. There's no waving. You're just getting in. You're just like, I'm getting in. And then you're sitting in that fucking lane for the rest of your life. And God forbid you make a mistake. It's like, oh, I should have. Oh, that's where my Bluetooth speaker went. I'm looking at it from this angle. I'm like, I was looking for that all day yesterday. There it is. So it can be stressful enough. I'm an experienced driver. I'm not a good driver. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a good driver. Okay. I'm like my father. It's like, I need 1.5 lanes. Okay. I tend to, maybe it's because of the age of my cars. Maybe it's because I don't have lane assist. Maybe it's because I know how to drive. I consider myself a bad driver, and yet I can drive. It's when things get calm, and it's like, oh, all the chaos is over. It's like, all right, there's nothing to be worried about. Now I'm going to fall asleep behind the wheel. That's how I fucking drive. It's like, but ultimately, getting through, like, you're going to travel through all these towns that have no business existing. It's just retail store after retail store after retail store after shitty hotel after shitty hotel after shitty hotel. And then you finally get to Boston. Half the bridges are under construction. You get there, see GPS signal lost, and then you finally emerge to the depths of the fucking concrete jungle that is the over-budgeted tunnels that they built. And you rise up, and it's like everything's blocked off. You go and pay for parking, which I'll be honest with you. This is the cheapest parking I've ever had in Boston. Like, honestly, seriously, if I say to you, on a Friday night, on a very busy night, in Boston, downtown Boston, Government Center, theater section, we're talking Tremont Street, Hamilton Place, that stuff. If I say to you, you're 2 minutes from the venue, 2 walking minutes from the venue, $14.99. Does that sound like a deal? Let me know. Does that sound like a deal? To me, that sounds like a fucking deal. Because every time I go and park somewhere, all right, it's like fucking $20, $30, $40. And sometimes that's above ground. $14.99 was a steal. Now, don't get me wrong. A Liquid Death, which is just basically a bottle, it's a can of seltzer water, it was like $10. And a Corona Extra was $17.99. A tall boy beer, $17.99. But the theater knows. The theater knows. You know, when you walking up to that register, you're spending $30. Plus tip. It's like you gave me a fucking beer. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Before I continue shitting on Massachusetts for the next 20 minutes, the venue was very nice. Okay? The venue does not represent Massachusetts, though. The venue is very nice. You walk inside, plenty of security. Granted, you might step on a needle before you get inside. Security was straightforward, to the point. Got everybody through. No pushing, no shoving. You get inside. They have people who help you. You know, you're going to go here. Here's your seat. Go upstairs. All the bathrooms. Nope, don't use that bathroom. Go up to this one. It's probably less populated right now. You go in. Take you to your seat. Very nice. Clean. Orderly. Perfect. And then you leave. Okay. Now we're here. If the city of Boston has more than one concert going in one night, in a 4-hour span, you're not getting out of that city. Not without going south to go north. You're just not getting out. It's just not, it isn't possible. Fucking roads are closed. In the middle of the city. Right next to the actual venue that you're getting out of. Because you understand. The roads if you've never been to the city of Boston, there's a lot of one-ways. So in New York is a grid. So you go straight, you make a left. You miss that one, just go, don't worry about it. You don't have to merge, you don't have to get in the right lane to get into the left lane and piss somebody off in that lane to get into a road rage incident just to make the left turn. No, just go down one more street. That's it. It's a grid. It's very simple. Very simple. You go straight, you make a left. You miss that left, go down one more street. You miss that one, go down one more street. That's it. And you can just do a simple boop, 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 boop. That's how it is. Boston, plate of spaghetti. Or something men understand very well. Cables, wires, speaker wires, things in a box that I'm going to use that later. And then you take out that one cable that you need, that one aux or RCA cable or one HDMI cable, and there's 17 more cables and they're all fucking jumbled together. That's what it is. That plate of spaghetti or box of wires perfectly represents the city of Boston and its traffic patterns and its road closures and its traffic jams and its one-way streets that tie into an alleyway that's been blocked off for some fucking reason or some event or whatever. And all of these venues are built around these. And the billions of dollars that have been spent on the Zeekum Bridge, the Tobin, and the new Everett to get it into Everett or Danvers or whatever the fuck. I don't know, all their stupid towns. Charleston. It's all garbage. It's all shit. The place is still clogged up. Absolutely clogged up. To get into that town. And strategically, maybe it's for a reason, because they don't want, there are some retarded politicians down there. Oh, we want to charge, like in Britain, they want to charge for emissions. We're doing that in New York, too. You got to pay now an extra toll for how much time, if you're going to go into downtown New York, you got to pay this extra money. It's like, oh, really? Really? You couldn't just fix the fucking roads? It's almost like you're going to have to tear the whole city down in order to really rebuild it in a way that it's actually going to be usable for the actual population that frequents it. But it's trash. 2 venues. There was a Tate McRae concert, a Louis C.K. concert on a Friday night, literally a few miles from each other. And there's this 4-way intersection that it looks like a stick figure. You've got 2 legs, 2 wide arms, and the arm is closed. This arm over here is closed. Right next to the venue. And then you got all these Ubers coming in, clogging up the roads. All these Ubers clogging. So you don't have everybody driving into the venue. Nobody's driving into the venue. And yet, these Ubers who don't give a fuck about traffic patterns, they literally will just cut right in, double park, and wait for a couple of sluts who just got out of the concert to run run through the middle of fucking traffic. Doesn't matter if it's moving or stopped, to get into this car that's gonna eventually try to veer its way back into traffic through all 3 lanes, or all 2 lanes, depending upon how many are closed, just to get out. And then this area, this street right here, is completely closed. That's a main artery to get onto the fucking highway, and that shit's closed. Completely closed. And what municipalities are there to help with the traffic patterns? 1 cop. 1. He's not doing anything. Do you know why? Because he can't. What do you expect this one guy to do? He's just there he's wearing a visor so he can't get hit. So people know that he's actually there. He's like, I can't do anything. What do you want me to do? I'm just standing here. I'm literally just standing here to make sure nobody gets shot. That's it. One guy tried to blow through the red light, immediately blocked up traffic, and the guy tapped on the window, goes, hey, back the fuck up. This is the traffic pattern. These guys need to move now. He just taps on the window. He goes, move back. I had to go up into the highlands of Boston, which is all, it goes, it's great if you're trying to get free furniture in like April, May, when the city allows everybody to dump their expensive furniture that they no longer have any use for, supposedly. And you go out there and you get free furniture and all shit. That one time a year, those roads, that's where you want to go and get that free furniture. Trust me, people in Boston know what I'm talking about. And I had to go up these roads because to get out of the city, to get to the north end of the city, to get on the highways, completely blocked, completely closed. You're like, you're fucked. And once you get on the roads, those little loopy bullshit highways, that's all fucked too. You're not getting out. So what I do, I basically break right. I go up the hill through Chinatown. Well, I go through Chinatown, go back up the hills, do a huge loop, go down. I'm basically just drawing my own map at this point. Go back down to the south side of Boston, and then slowly find my way towards the seaport side, the eastern side, because it's all green over there. And then finally am able to get onto a road that isn't closed. If I had gone one road short or one road long, basically one wrong turn, and I was done for. I was back in the shit traffic and I was stuck there. It took me an hour to get out of a 2.5 square miles. That is the city of Boston. It took me 1 hour to get out. 1 whole hour. Probably more than that. Probably like an hour 20, hour and 30 to actually get out of the actual city. Now I did it. I was proud of it. But it just tells me that they're not making any improvements in the city. It's only getting worse. The cost of living there has gone through the roof, which I get it. Cost of living there, whether you're renting or buying, has gone through the roof. They had multiple crowd control issues over the past 90 days. The entire city of Boston's police department, they lost their primary channel, their primary communication channel. The police department did for for an hour or two. Now, don't get me wrong, they have backup channels, but that's a major issue. Now, it was because a bunch of assholes near Tremont Street in one of their main parks decided, hey, we're going to cause some problems. So now all the police have to descend there and deal with these fucking douchebags. So that was an issue. And then Antifa, these fucking retards who don't understand alarm clocks, they decide they're going to cause some problems. So the police department has to go down there and beat the shit out of them, justifiably so. A couple of them had to show up in court and apparently are going to jail for consecutive months. So there's that. So they've got this issue to deal with. Okay, they got to now deal with even more unproductive people. So there's that. So they got these traffic patterns, the energy problems there. So this is just Boston. Boston has problems that I don't know if it's recoverable. I don't know if the city is recoverable. I think it's only going to get worse. You can have fun in Boston, but my concerns are legitimately starting to rise in that town. So far, the only redeeming, I mean, getting in, I just want to get in, enjoy myself, and get the fuck out. The North End, which has a lot of ownership, thankfully, like they own the buildings, the restaurants and stuff like that, Cafe Paradiso, still probably the only redeeming quality. The reason to go to Boston and maybe spend the day or spend a few hours or spend the night. But it's starting to chip away. Honestly, for me, it's an hour to get there. Not an hour. Hour and 20. But if you're traveling 2 hours, it's no point in going. There's really no reason to go. People are like, oh, why don't you just take the train? Take the train. I'm not taking the fucking bus. Take the train down. Now you got to pay for train tickets. And you have to be in the vicinity of the train. So you got to park there, take the train, so pay for the train, and then you got to make the train to get back. Who cares? I get they got some nice museums. I went to a museum last time. I was like, this is bullshit. I mean, I was looking forward to it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Nah, not worth it. But it's becoming less and less of a, hey, let's go down there. It'll be worth our time. It'll be worth a little bit of the hassle. Nah. It's I mean, for me, back in the day, it was like 90-10. It's like, yeah, maybe, but fuck it. It's just too good not to. Then it became like 80-20, 70-30. Now I'm kind of like getting in it's starting to creep into the 60s. Once it's 50-50, I'm out. There's no point. I'm just, it's too much of a pain in the ass at this point. And it's only going to get worse over the next couple of years, I think. So there's that. That's just the city of Boston. It's become a real, I mean, one night when everybody's going to fill in and there's no future planning for that city that benefits people who want to travel there or go there or work there. Honestly. That's the thing. Imagine people commute out of that city an hour, 2 hours. Commute into that city an hour, 2 hours. Where's the benefit? Really? Is it really worth the money to work there? Unless you work at like State Street. There was a house in Dennis, Massachusetts. Dennis, Massachusetts is it's one of the towns in Cape Cod. So once you pass over the bridge, there's places like Mashpee, Provincetown, and then there's multiple towns. Sandwich. Dennis, Massachusetts is one of them. So you got to get over that one bridge. God forbid that bridge falls apart like the one that happened in Lynn's Revere. Now, hilarious, first off. Now, people are making it out like, your commute's fucked. It's like, hold on, there's a couple more bridges, there's a couple more ways to get out of that area. Don't get me wrong, if you live in Lynn or Revere, you probably should want to get out of that area. It's a dump. But that being said, let me continue. So this one house, nothing special, probably like 0.21 acres. If you were to buy that house in, say, Hampton, New Hampshire right now, probably cost you like $600,000, $700,000. Which is nice area, a lot of house, nice town, not much to worry about. $600,000-$700,000 right now. Granted, you probably got some serious taxes to pay for, but still. This house right now is currently for sale in Dennis, Massachusetts. 0.21 acres. It's not a huge house. Definitely a nice house, though. $1.6 million. 1.6. Let me ask you something. You're going to pay $1.6 million for a house in Dennis, Massachusetts, which has only a few ways to get into this section of Mass. And then you're going to deal with all that bullshit during the summertime. Your house is basically unusable from the month of June all the way to the month of September. Because all the people, probably from my state, from Maine, from Canada, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey. They're all going there. You're going to pay $1.6 million to be stuck in traffic for God knows how long. It's like every line at Starbucks at 7:30 in the morning all rolled into one, and that's Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And you're going to pay $1.6 million to live there on 0.21 acres? 0.21 acres. 0.21 acres is nice. Okay? 0.21 acres, you get a front yard. You get a backyard. You get room to breathe on each side. Nice picket fence. That's 0.21 acres. It's not bad. It's not 1.6 million, though. That's the problem. 1.6 million, taxes, terrible traffic, energy bills, heating bills. God have mercy. So, 1.6 million. If you're paying 1.6 million for something, I would never want to have problems again. I'm paying 1.6 million to essentially say, fuck you, leave me alone, don't ever talk to me again. My security guard will shoot you at the front. That's what 1.6 million means to me. It means no solicitors. That's what 1.6 million means. So, and this has been going on for a long time. Passing into Massachusetts never gave me joy. It's dreary. Like, Boston is not dreary. Boston is, it is, even now, it's alive. There's stuff going on. There's bars. There's restaurants. There's people bopping and opping and doing this and doing that. There's concerts. It still has perks. Peabody, Shrewsbury, pick a fucking town. Any town. Westboro, Middleborough, your mom's borough, whatever it is. It's bleh. It feels like every day, when you're in Massachusetts, if every day feels like a cold, musty day in autumn. Autumn up here, it's beautiful, sun's out, it's like 60 degrees maybe 50 degrees sometimes. It's windy out, but you can breathe up here. It's nice. Oh, it feels good. Maybe I'll go out and do something. Maybe I'll go to the farmer's market. We'll go apple picking. Every day down there. Just miserable. Miserable. You don't think of white picket fences. You think of shitty school system. Newburyport, I'll give you the exception. Newburyport, which I haven't been to in probably a couple of years. I like Newburyport. That's like the one town in Massachusetts I would consider living in. The one! But every other is just dreary and bleh. Like every day it's a seagull shitting on your car. And it's no excitement there. Springfield. Fuck that. So it's depressing. They got this whole other side of the state that has no value to it. None whatsoever. And then you have crime rates. Drake, Lynn, Revere, Salisbury. Oh, don't forget Lawrence. Methuen. All these border towns. Crime rate's going up. And this is a state with the shittiest gun laws. And when I say shittiest, restrictive. You gotta do this to get that. Oh, it's no big deal. No, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Don't lie to me, okay? It's bullshit. They don't make it easy for you, okay? And they're not gonna make it easier, all right? They got a lot of problems there. And the crime rates are only going up. It's just every day, every month, they're adding another town to the list of what's the next shitty one? Springfield, shit. Shrewsbury, shit. You know, things like a bridge being out. All right, fine. You got other bridges. Now imagine if the Tobin Bridge failed inspections. Holy shit. They gotta figure that out. I don't know how you could design a whole highway system around your most precious gem of a city and still manage to have a fucking nightmare of a traffic system. They gotta rebuild. They gotta rip that fucking whole city apart and rebuild it. They just can't keep up with the crisis. Their mayor of Boston sucks. The governor of Massachusetts sucks. Has no answers. Wastes millions of dollars on who the fuck knows what. Energy prices going up. Access to energy going down. Crime. I heard that they were filming. Not that I heard. They are. They're filming. They're filming The Walking Dead. Scenes from The Walking Dead. In wait for it, Worcester. You don't need actors for that. You don't. I'll tell you right now, as a person who's been to the town square in Worcester, you don't need paid actors to film The Walking Dead. You don't. You know the walkers in The Walking Dead, the zombies? Yeah. You don't need actors for that. You walk into that town square, and I have video of it, and I've talked about it. I've commentated on it. There's an week 97 of the Positive Sarcasm 100 week run that I did when I was literally learning how to shoot video. Over 100 weeks. Week 97 was called No Man's Land, and it was about I was going to go and do like a walking tour through Worcester. It was canceled. And in the town square, everything was closed. Not only was it closed, like the businesses weren't open, there was no businesses there. Everything was for lease. Everything was for lease, for rent, for sale. Nothing was open. And when I say dreary, I meant it. Fog. You couldn't see shit. It was fucking raining. In the town square, there was just people literally walking back and forth, slowly, heads down, just going in circles, kind of like zombies. They were just there. You could have just filmed that and blurred it a little bit and be like, nailed it. Or be like, here's $20, put some makeup on, look like shit. They already do. It was literally it was The Walking Dead. Because they were dead. I think I said that they were literally going to walk until they turned to dust. They were just going to walk and fade into existence. One day they were just going to, without even a cornfield, they were just going to disappear. Just poof, gone. No existence, no future. They just walk around. They sat there. They didn't do anything. But that's the way they were filming it. What'd they do with the actual walkers that were there? So, that city, I mean, they did do an article. I think it was like, I don't know, maybe a couple of years later. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure COVID wrecked that city. But that city was already wrecked anyways. So, the idea is, I can't imagine. They were talking about, this restaurant's going to revive the city. One restaurant? And then the price of inflation several years later, I wonder if that restaurant is even still there. One restaurant. Could a restaurant revive a city? It could drive traffic to that city. It absolutely could. If you cater to it, if you take care of it, if you have a precious jewel in the middle of the city that brings in jobs, that brings in customers, which drives in revenue, wouldn't you want to take care of the owner and the customers of that retail space? Wouldn't you want to do that? You don't want to just jack up the fucking rent and be like, fuck you, I can get some. No! You want a responsible tenant there who's going to make you money. Who's going to create if you put a nice place in, let's say you got a shitty neighborhood, but you put a nice restaurant in there. Okay? And then it's like, this place is going to be good. Like it's going to bring in good people, good money. Maybe we should make sure clean the outside of the building up a little bit. Make sure that the walking spaces are safe. Make sure that there's parking. Make sure that there's parking. And the next thing you know, this place cleaned up. All right, what about the place next to it? And you clean, a little bit of gentrification ultimately, but for the most part, if you're surrounded by shit, It's just going to be a circle of shit. Why don't you clean the fucking place up? I can't imagine that when they wrote these articles about these couple of restaurants that were there, I can't imagine any of those places actually still being open. There was nothing before then. Worcester had a working airport then, but most of the major airlines, like, not a few months after that, canceled. Like, we're not flying here. You can't fly. You can't fly any tin put. You can't, hire any tin pushers. Getting in and getting out, it's foggy as shit. We're not flying here. Fuck this town. Why would we want to fly here? Nobody wants to fly to Worcester. There's no attractiveness to there. There's nothing to do there. There's no reason. It's pointless. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not rooting against these places. It's what it is. It's what I saw. It's what I experienced. And then ultimately, the city of Boston, the city of Worcester, and the towns the former towns that I spoke about, it's a representation of the entire state that is ultimately useless. It is The Walking Dead, and the architecture is getting worse. I want to see some cool and weird I mean, there's some beautiful places in Boston that are still around. But ultimately, Boston is its own thing. It's the cobblestone central. They got some cool old-ass brick buildings there. The rest of this, that Peabody is a perfect example. Who the fuck, or is it Peabody? Probably. Who the fuck wants to go to Peabody? Other than you go to the Kowloon restaurant, which has that old school looking Chinese restaurant. Well, the Kowloon is the old school looking Chinese restaurant, excuse me, but it has that old school looking, Chinese restaurant vibe. Like you go to when I went to a Chinese restaurant as a kid, I went to Jade Island, okay? And it looked like it had like the cool peak, and then it would bow out, and then have another level, and it would bow out, and there'd be like the golden lions right there on the big like rouge steps. Like, it was cool. Like, it was an event. You went to a palace. You were going to the Golden Palace to eat this emperor's delight of food and deliciousness. And you sit by these big windows, and the spiders would be basically hanging on this other side, and you get this rum cocktail. It was cool. It was different. Now it's like walking into a fucking shopping mall, and all you smell is fresh paint, and the walls are boring. So the Kowloon represents that. Jade Island, when I was a kid, represented that. It was that old school Chinese restaurant vibe. It was cool. It was a big retail restaurant space that was oddly inviting. It was very inviting. Come on into this, Americanized Chinese place. But it was cool. It was like going to an amusement park as a kid. And it was awesome. But the Kowloon apparently they have plans in place to basically rip down from what I saw, the concepts, they're going to rip down the entire place and replace it with this boring ass dystopian looking block building. Like it's a fucking IKEA. It is. It's going to look like a fucking IKEA or Kohl's. What's more depressing than a Kohl's and a bunch of Bob haircut Karens going in there with their fucking coupons and their phones? This is 50% off of children's wear. It's like, this place sucks. Place sucks. And they're going to turn it into that place that sucks. They're going to put like apartments on it. And then the restaurant's just going to be kind of this, this dystopian tumor that kind of sits alongside of it. It looks terrible. From what I saw, the concept drawing, it's like, no, I get it. You want to, I don't know if they're losing money or whatnot, but they got some restaurants there that look cool. Like they got this pizza place with the leaning tower that's supposedly rumored to be falling over. The real one, I mean. But they got some interesting, they got some places that still look cool, that look kind of, what's the word? Authentic, genuine. Like you go there and that looks cool. Like it looks old time. It looks old school. It looks old timey. Like the Kowloon looks cool. It's different architecture. It's noticeable. If everything looks like a Kohl's or an IKEA, like McDonald's is like, well, don't get me wrong. The McDonald's there is actually the one McDonald's that looks cool because it's got these huge ass arches. But the Wendy's looks boring. The stores there look. Bob's Furniture. Who gives a shit? It's just another beige building that nobody fucking cares about. That drives. That just. It nothing. It represents nothing. It represents overpriced furniture. Oh, I'm getting a deal. Really? $600 for a fucking sleeper sofa? Get the fuck out of here. They're gonna turn that restaurant with a lot of history. It used to be a comedy club there, still is, whatever. They're gonna turn that into another boring ass design, and it's gonna look like the rest of the places there. It's just a row of architecture that nobody cares about. Like eventually, the cabaret and the pizza restaurant right next to it will eventually fade into to obscurity because rent prices or whatever, or the original owner dies and it gets sold off to some bullshit place, or it turns into a fucking Bluebird storage facility, and that's all going to be gone. And it's just going to be another vapid space of suck. It does. It looks like shit. The state looks like shit. It's all just clogged arteries of garbage retail spaces that are eventually going to give way to, I don't know. Like, Peabody it's like I said, it's just a row of garbage. It's a row of recycling bins on the way to Boston. It's fucking stupid. The architecture it is getting shittier and shittier as you go over the years. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, we have some of those problems in New Hampshire, but essentially we're a more residentially minded state that understands a little bit of traditionalists, a little bit of traditional, these things, blah, blah, blah. And but it is a virus that is spreading anywhere. Like, you can't go anywhere, tri-state area, or anywhere in the world. You're going to see, or anywhere in the U.S., you're going to see more of that boring ass, cheap. It's cheap. Ultimately, it's cheap to build this ugly looking thing with big fucking windows, and all the colors of the buildings are exactly the same. It's boring. It's essentially it's like an insurance policy. Like, you build this place that could be anything. If it didn't originally look like a Pizza Hut, I can guarantee you that if that restaurant fails, if that Dunkin' Donuts fails, if that McDonald's fails, or if that insert fake Italian restaurant fails, they're just going to rip the sign off and turn it into something else. And the renovation costs are low. It's essentially a cardboard box. It's a cardboard box with a sign on it. So if that place fails, they don't pay their rent, they kick them out, they throw up another sign. Oh, honey, this can be... So all of a sudden, a Wendy's turns into a Dunkin' Donuts, turns into an Advanced Auto Parts, that turns into a fucking, I don't know. It's has no identity to it. No identity to it. It just gets turned into something else that is going to be forgettable in 6 months to 5 years. I don't know. And it's that dreariness. It's that bitter. I mean, the winters there suck. Even though this state right over here. It's right here. It's right behind my wall. It's right behind my wall. But I mean, a lot of the greatest comics came out of that city because it sucked, because it was bitter, because people didn't have time for bullshit. It was a working class town. Now they all sit working class town. Fisheries, lobstermen. Industrial. They needed a laugh. They worked for that laugh. So those comics had to deliver. There was a demand there. Now the colleges there are bullshit. They got to, that's a whole other topic, is the colleges there. But ultimately, it's like, Emerson and Harvard. Give me a fucking break. So you got all that to deal with. It's sad to see a state that had so much, rich history to it, essentially fading into history. At this point, The best thing about Massachusetts is leaving. But here's my final statement to you. Don't come here. Don't come here. In the words of Kamala Harris, the great, wise, and noble Kamala Harris, do not come. Do not come. Don't come here. We don't want your bullshit. We don't want your bitterness. Okay? You're buying up all our real estate. It's pissing me off. Go to Maine. Go to fucking Maine. You probably already are. Go to Maine. You're used to paying taxes, right? Go to Maine. They got plenty of them. You're used to shitty energy costs. Go to Maine. They got plenty of that. You're used to retarded regulation. Go there. Just skip the state. Leave us alone. Okay? We got our own things going on. We're trying to sort things out with population movements and stuff. But we're trying to head in a different direction here. We're trying to keep some proper values here. And it's the beautiful scenery and the nice, easy drives. And really, traffic isn't bad here. We want an easier life up here. We don't want you. We don't. Go clean up Connecticut. Go move to Rhode Island. Go move to Vermont. Or, even better, clean up your own state. You've thought about that? Clean up your own state. Try doing that. There are certain, towns there, they'll fucking fine you for not shoveling your own sidewalks. It's not my fucking sidewalk. I'm not doing it. Fuck you. Don't come here. It's your own mess that you created. You allowed for this. So this is your problem. I'm just a visitor. But unfortunately, so I bring you, I come there. I don't bring any problems. I bring money, and then I leave. I don't buy up your houses. But ultimately, if you're making it harder and harder and more expensive and less enjoyable to go there, you're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get that visitor cash. So do yourselves a favor, work really hard to clean up your own bullshit. Don't think that any equal outcomes or diversification of cultures or blaming other people for your problems is ultimately going to fix your state. Your state sucks. Your cities are getting worse. Your towns are becoming unlivable. Shit's getting way more expensive. Your rents are out of control. I was like, oh, well, I can get $1,800 to $2,200 for this apartment in Dorchester. It's like, what? First of all, Dorchester? Who the fuck wants to live in Dorchester? The whole state is nothing more than a bad haircut. A bad haircut with lice. So, you're there for a couple hours. If you're there and you're able to get in on time and spend the night at places like the Dagny or the Rose Wharf by the seacoast, by the ocean front, by the harbor front, okay. You still got time to enjoy Boston. I just don't know how much time you have left. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You can also contact me effortlessly at positivesarcasm.com in the contact section. So if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can hit me up at all three of those locations. And there you have it. So, and if, of course, you want to listen to this podcast, anywhere where podcasts are available, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Apple Podcasts. Video versions of this podcast are available on Rumble and on YouTube. Just look for the Positive Sarcasm Podcast. You know the logo. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. And I'll talk to you all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio, alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. For entertainment purposes only, this has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.